I'll put it this way. My dad was in the makeup room with me this morning, and when we said we were talking about Rocco, him as a lifelong Warriors fan goes, "Oh my gosh, what happened to Rocco? Nothing can happen to Rocco." So if something happened to Rocco, I don't think Clay's going to be right. I think it's important. Dogs are a man's best friend.
Get some TLC wherever you can get it, Clay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I'm sure Michael, your dad, is missing Rocco because he's kind of the babysitter during the season, but you take Rocco. All right, next, make three-stripe life. Dave went to an Adidas store in Portland, approached some youngsters, and then told them he'd buy them each 5 pairs of shoes. Last summer, he gave out hundreds of pairs in East Portland. So, Dave, is Dame the perfect franchise player?
Absolutely. He is a star on the court. He puts butts in the seats. You're proud of him in the community. And then he has the extra star power of having his burgeoning rap career. He is exactly what you want to represent you as a star for your franchise.
And I'll add this, what you see him doing that's not for Damian Lillard. That's not a publicity stunt. That is so genuine. And that makes it even better that he just genuinely likes to give back like that. You want that kind of star.
Yeah, he's as real as it gets. Miss Grown-Ups. Here's Trae Young and DeAndre Bembry playing tag. Malika, does this explain why Trae is so shifty on the court?
Sure. I mean, at least you're getting some extra practice, but I was not good at tag as a kid, and if I had to play against Trae Young, oof, I don't think I'd want to do that.
I feel like just watching them do that would be better than that Hollywood movie tag that came out a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah, for sure. What do you think at the All-Star break? A little tag game? Come on, we could try something. Why not?
It's not that they're trying to make it more competitive. Maybe they'll have a competitive game of tag. That looks pretty serious.
All right, we now turn to Dave's favorite player, Carmelo Anthony. Melo. Why are we laughing?
I should just get up and leave.
Melo hasn't played in an NBA game since November of last season and still remains a free agent. Trainer to the Stars, Chris Brickley, said on The Breakfast Club that people need to put more respect on Anthony's name. Take a listen.
He could easily better than 60%, 70% of NBA players walking around. It's just I think teams are afraid of, that I want to be a starter or I want this. That's not the case, though. Melo just wants, he just wants to, have a final season, have a farewell season.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
do what D-Wade
deserves a farewell season.
Do the jersey swap.
So Damian Lillard took to Twitter to echo those sentiments, simply saying, #vote for Melo farewell season and stop play in Melo. Dave, I got a feeling I know where you're going here, but does Melo deserve a farewell tour?
Absolutely. Now, I think Chris Brickley's comments, that's when keeping it real goes wrong. I mean, that's over the top to suggest that he's better than 60 or 7%, or because he would already be on a team right now. We wouldn't be continue to go on the show and espouse the virtues of Carmelo Anthony. But, I mean, come on. The guy is around 36% from three for his career. He's proven when he's around talent to be able to be a spot-up shooter. There are teams that are in the contender conversation, like a Philadelphia, that has lost shooting this summer, and they could stand to add someone. And he has been a representative and ambassador for USA basketball in terms of getting it to a better place over the last 15 years of his career. And so I think there can be a place for him. Obviously, it will take a special kind of coach, a special kind of GM to accept that challenge and not run away from it. But I think there should be a place for him.
I have two things to say here. One, I think that yesterday on Jalen Jacoby, I kind of was wishy-washy on whether or not he is in that 67, better than 60-70%. I think that it's so subjective. Sometimes we say, "Oh, he's a top 10 player," and then we proceed to list 20 players. So I'm going to give Chris a little pass on that. But I just don't like farewell tours very much. I just don't like the drawn. I kind of think you should kind of know it's going to be a guy's last season, sort of in the Dirk type of way.
So come on. Who didn't love the Dwayne Wade farewell tour?
By the end, it was like, oh, wait, I've been to like 3 of his last
games. Do you not like fun?
No, I don't like fun. Like, very serious. I'm not about it. I mean, I think you should just kind of ride off into the sunset. I think that you know, your last game, maybe you say something, your last home game, but I just think it's just too much, drags on for too long, and it's just whether or not he gets a farewell tour. This isn't Melo specific. This is generally, I am not a fan of the farewell tour.
Real quick, D-Wade, your farewell tour was awesome, okay? So we'll start with that.
Says the Miami native.
Second of all, here's the thing. I think the ship has sailed in regards to a regular season farewell situation because the teams that would make the most sense are the Knicks or the Nuggets. And unless they decide to add him in some way, shape, or form, I just don't think it makes sense with like a Philly or someone like that to do a quote-unquote farewell tour. Now, Team USA, I think that makes a ton of sense. He's the most decorated Olympian we've had for USA basketball. That, to me, should be the situation.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, Philly could even add him in March, or, you know, for a playoff run or another team. It doesn't have to be.
But then you're like
Philadelphia.
half a farewell tour.
You know, there was talks when the Lakers.
It'd be shorter. You'd like that.
You know, had the Lakers been in position to make the playoffs last year, I think there was a very good chance that Carmelo would have been added to that group.
Right.
Once they were out of playoff contention, it didn't make sense to bring him there, but. The guy should suit up again and play NBA basketball.
No, he's good enough to do it. I agree with you on that. Yeah.
And so whether you add the pomp and circumstance of it, or you keep that stuff under wraps, and then the last week of the season or wherever you may be, you presentation and all the gifts that teams like to give. That's fine, but the guy should not have his last taste of NBA basketball be 10 games with the Houston Rockets and unceremoniously sent to Siberia.
Well, then if he does, but if he didn't want, it wasn't realistic once, he wasn't going to be signed with a team that was going to be making the push in the playoffs. Does he want to sign with someone like the Knicks and go on a farewell tour if they're potentially
Chris Brickley says he does.
Yeah, it seems like that is the case. Now let's take a look at that list we just had there of the potential free agents that are still available. Who's the best remaining free agent on this list?
Reads Kenneth Faried, Jamal Crawford.
I'm going to say J.R. Smith.
Jamal Crawford, Kenneth Faried.
Jamal Crawford, I know he had the big game last year, but he's up in age. Like,
I'll let you guess who I'm going to say. Carmelo Anthony.
Of course, clearly Carmelo Anthony.
You really want J.R. Smith over Carmelo Anthony?
Yeah, first of all, he's younger, and he plays defense. So I'd rather just have that. Look, I mean, I think Carmelo Anthony deserves an opportunity. I think Vince Carter deserves an opportunity.
Absolutely.
I got a chance to do games with Vince Carter at Summer League this year, and he seems intent on wanting to play one more season. So I would love for those guys to get a chance because, as you pointed out, Dave, both guys particularly have been great ambassadors to the game, and they kind of deserve kind of their moment in the sun. I'm curious to see who steps up to provide that particular situation. But as far as who's ready to play right now on that list, it's JR to me.
I would agree with that.
JR didn't play all last year.
I get it, but he's still young enough. He's got young legs. Like you don't think he can play better than those guys on the list?
Not better than Carmelo Anthony.
Okay. We'll agree to disagree.
Man.
All right, we got to take a break. But when we get back, is James Harden a better scorer than Michael Jordan? Rockets GM Daryl Morey seems to think so, but does he have a point? We'll get to all that. We'll discuss. So stick around here on The Jump.